Howdy everybody, here for a sort of part 2, sort of not, for the last video. I was harvesting potatoes in my more established orchard. These ones were just random grocery store potatoes. The last ones were an actual variety I knew and had saved from last year. So these, I don't remember what color they were, I don't know anything about them. They received no water. I didn't water them even a single time. They received no care. They're in much more shallow mulch. Essentially everything I could do wrong to these things has been done wrong to them. So we're going to see if there's any yields at all. And, oh, okay, there's a potato. There's a potato. The stolons have run extremely long, which is normal when it was the ozetes, but for these, this is not at all what I was expecting to see. Normally store-bought potatoes are genetically bred to specifically not produce long stolons. So this is highly unusual. And this stolon is running all the way out of the mulch altogether. Seems to be in the ground. How unusual. So this potato it's probably reacting to stress in some way. It probably doesn't like where it's at. So it has stuck a branch of itself way far away. Huh. Well, I just reached the end of it and I don't see a potato. How strange. Alright, we'll go back to the center of the plant. Another small one. So this was originally just a potato that was too old to be worth salvaging, to be worth eating in any way. So what I did was threw it on the ground. These are looking like ozetes. I wonder if I'm thinking of something different. But either way, these were grown with no water, no care, no attention. But yeah, they were just thrown on the ground and abandoned in a far off spot. Here's another one. These have got to be ozetes. I am mistaking those two spots. But these grew without water, without care, so get an idea for what the yield's going to be like. And this is more towards my nut orchard, so there is some levels of jug loam in the soil here, but the main thing is it's just so far out that I haven't cared for it at all. No water, no good fertilizer, no compost. All that I did was throw them on the floor and pour wood chips right over the top, just a wheelbarrow full. Dumped a wheelbarrow around this nice new sapling. This is a I broke the stake that's holding it up, but that's just a wild plum, American wild plum. The potato that was all the way dead actually is yielding a great deal more potato. Fascinating. Maybe I'm harvesting a little early. Some people wait until they're all the way dead before they harvest. Maybe that's my mistake, but I don't do that because I keep finding that I lose them altogether. I lose track of the plant. If I lose track of the plant, I don't get any yield because you can't harvest what you don't know where it's at. Which is one of the only major downsides I find with all the permaculture style gardening is you can lose track of things pretty easily when they're not in the nice, straight, pretty rows. But just between the last spot that I harvested and half of this spot, I have already got more yield. Here, let me move you over to the new little area, but I've already gotten more potatoes out than I put in at the beginning of this. Sorry for my poor filming skills, but figure it's better you see at least some of what I'm up to. Another big one. But like I said, just kind of take your time. In the wood chips it's easy because there's no real digging. You're just kind of gently pushing, pulling, feeling for your taters. Well, I can't say this is the best thing for the tree. I can't imagine it's all bad either. You're aerating the chips above it pretty thoroughly by doing this. So just slowly work your way in a circle around. I don't know how much of my head you're seeing, but if you're interested in my unusual attire, I'm wearing a sniper veil. Not because it's military, cool guy stuff like that, but because when you soak them in water, they're one of the coolest, most cooling pieces of headwear I've found to wear. And I'm not great at the heat. But see here, I'm not sure how much you can see again, but I'm going after a plant that had died back so thoroughly I had lost it entirely. I didn't know it was here. But just because I decided to move my hands around the whole ring, I keep finding more that I didn't even know were down here. But we've almost made it around the whole circle now. Let me bring my bucket back over and just set as many of these in the bucket as I can. No cuts, no movie magic. That's just between that last video and this one, how many I've gotten. So hopefully that's in view. I'm just moving on to the next one. The last plant that I can find. 2 big potatoes, or 2 little potatoes, but you know, when you're harvesting for food, you're not trying to sell it. Every little bite matters. Honestly, it's probably better for you to be eating these little ones. You're getting much more skin to potato ratio. And of course, we all should know that the potato skin is where most of the best parts of the nutrients are. So, yep. Here we go. Just got to keep digging, keep working my fingers around. Oh, pull a bunch of the skin off the end of that one because of its unusual shape. Maybe Ozette are not the right choice for most people, but they've served me well so far, I'm finding. But I mean, that said, I've also been served quite well with a lot of the russets I've grown. So, yep. So there we go, with no water, no care, no effort. That was all the way around this cherry. I mean, this wild plum. They're not much bigger than cherries when they're actually producing fruit. That's why my brain said cherry. But yeah, we've got, I don't know, half of a big old container full. Definitely enough for a couple meals. And in a week or so, there's another one right over there that is likewise just the same. It is a cherry. Not cherry. I keep saying cherry. It is a native plum, and it has more potatoes all around it, though these look a little bit nicer for whatever reason. Maybe they're getting a little more shade from some of the other stuff in the area, but yeah, more potatoes. And the harvest so far sure seems to have paid off to me. So there's that so far. I have other plants out here. I don't think I put any potatoes around that one, but that's a nannyberry. Just a whole lot of wonderful things around my nut orchard. My walnuts are growing well. They're Japanese walnuts. But yeah, I think it's about time for me to call it a day out here. Have a bit of sunlight left, but the wood chips do take a number on you. There's a couple little bloody spots I don't want to get too close onto the camera, but yeah, honest day's work. Pays off, feels good. I will give you a nice pretty outro. How about that? But mosquitoes are coming out. It's my main thing that's going to drive me in. So right here, shot a short on it already, but here we go. My cherry brandy rutabaga, or black-eyed Susan. Super beautiful plant. Really love it. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon, Speedy Snail Homestead. I have an Etsy, Speedy Snail Steelwork. Highly recommend you check them out, even if you don't buy anything. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support. I hope you learned something good, and I hope that you all consider giving potatoes a try. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everybody.